Alright, hello and welcome back to another Mr. Pisto Plays Magic the Gathering Arena Brawl Deck Tech gameplay session. We have Beledros Witherbloom, yet another one of the Elder Dragons. Slowly getting to them all. Only got one more left after this one. It is a 7 mana 4/4, so the stats are not that great for 7 mana, but it does some cool stuff. So it has flying. And at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Kind of Coma-esque, but not with the Coma abilities. But you get a little 1/1 that is very annoying for your opponents. But then you have pay 10 life. Untap all lands you control. Activate only once each turn. So you can play Beledros and then use one of our X spells on the next turn, or you can untap your lands on your opponent's turn and surprise them with a removal spell. So the deck plays a lot of ramp, a lot of removal, and then a few permanent spells. All right, let's get into the cards of the deck. We have Gilded Goose, probably the best 1 mana ramp spell. Can gain us life when by creating food tokens. So if we are in a matchup where we need some life, the food creation of food tokens is quite nice. If Sculptor of Winter untaps a snow land, we are playing snow basics, so we can play Wolfwillow Haven and Glittering Frost to kind of combo off with our Sculptor of Winter, being able to untap those lands that those two permanents are attached to. Tangled Florahedron can be a land if we need it to be, and it can be a ramp creature if we need it to be, so it's got a lot of flexibility there. Wolfwillow Haven, enchanting a land and making it tap for another green. We can make one of our black lands a dual land, and we can also, like I said, untap it with Sculptor of Winter, and in a very late game, which I don't know if we're going to use, but you can make a 2/2 for 5 mana and sacrifice this. We have Arcane Signet, pretty much goes in every single Brawl deck we can make. Cultivate, going to find 2 basic land cards. This is that new art. What an amazing art. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put 1 into your hand, 1 on the battlefield tapped, so it helps us fix the mana that we need. Glittering Frost, I mentioned earlier, turns whatever land that we have enchanted into a snow land, which is nice, as a snow permanent, and it makes it so that your mana taps for 1 mana of any color in addition to what it already does. Roiling Regrowth helps us get more lands, plus gives us a few more land drops. I mean, a few more, what are they called? Why can't I blanking? Landfall triggers. We do have the Shoot Swarm in the deck, just for funsies. Then we have Heraldic Banner. We could probably normally gonna put this on green, but we will put it on whatever mana we actually need. So when it comes into play, you choose color. The pests are black and green, so either way you do it, they get +1/+0. You just gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you pick the right colors. You could pick white by accident, and then this is just colorless. We have Migration Path and Vastward Surge, both 4 mana ramp spells. This one gets us 2 basic land cards. You can also cycle for 2. This one, you can pay 8 mana to kick it to put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control. So if you're in the late game and Beledros has been out for a little while and you have some 1/1s, then you can make them all 3/3s plus whatever else is out. Then I skipped over Nylea Kenai. This is a ramp spell for creatures only because it makes your creature spells cost 1 less to cast. It is a 4 mana 5/6 indestructible, but it is an enchantment unless you can have a minimum of 5 devotion, then it becomes a creature. After that, you can also pay a green and 2 colorless to reveal the top card of your library. It's a creature card, put it in your hand, otherwise you may put it into your graveyard. Vastward Surge talked about. Solemn Simulacrum is a creature. It finds us a land when it comes into play. It also draws us a card when it dies. So it's just an overall good card in the deck. Beanstalk Giant, search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library for the Fertile Footsteps. And then late game, it can be a 7/7, 8/8, 9/9, 10/10, depending on how many lands you control. So it is a great card in that aspect. Anything I'm missing for ramp, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, notify. Let's get into removal. There is a lot of removal in the deck as well. Bloodchief's Thirst, very versatile, kills something little for 1 mana, kills anything for 4 mana with the kicker cost, I guess for creature or planeswalker, anything, not quite anything. Blizzard Brawl, we have enough snow permanents to activate a second ability of your creature gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible to the end of turn. Then they fight another creature, and that is if you have 3 or more snow permanents on the battlefield. I put Wilt in the destruction pile because it does destroy target artifact or enchantment. I'm playing Wilt because it cycles. There are lots of other artifact destruction spells that you might want to play. I like this one because it can be card draw if you don't need it. Cycling, I guess. Witherbloom command. This is in the removal spell because target creature gets -3/-1 until the end of turn. You can destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. There are not super many of those in the format, but you could snipe something every once in a while. Target player mills 3 cards, then you return a land card from your hand to your graveyard to your hand, and target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. We're not super big into the life gaining aspect of the Witherbloom college, but it is something that we could dip our toes into. We have Murderous Rider with its Swift End, destroying target creature or planeswalker, and then it is also a creature that is a 2/3 with lifelink, and when it dies you put it on the bottom of your library. Poison the Cup is a 3-mana destroy target creature, but if you cast it for the foretell cost of a black and a colorless, you get to scry 2. It's got some flexibility. We can just cast it for 3 and not get any benefit, or we can foretell it and use it later and be able to scry. Broken Wings, another one of those artifact and enchantment spells. This one has the added benefit of destroying a creature with flying, hence why it's one of my favorite green artifact and enchantment removal, because it does have another ability. Binding the Old Gods, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. That is just great in and of itself. And then its ability to give you a forest card and put it on the battlefield tapped, which is one of the reasons why we're playing the Woodland Chasm. Not only is it a snowland, but we can fetch it out with the Binding of the Old Gods, put it into play tapped. That's how it's going to come in anyways. And then creatures you control gain Death Touch until the end of turn. If you have a few pests, then you can just attack freely with them, and if they block, they kill whatever they block or get blocked by. Pelucranos is a 4-mana 6/6. It can also be a 6-mana exile 6 other cards from your graveyard with the escape to become a 12/12. Damage will be dealt while it has 1/1 counters on it. Prevent that much damage and remove those many 1/1 counters. This stops Death Touch. And you can play a green, a black, and a colorless to have Pelucranos fight another target creature. We're not really playing with our graveyard in this deck. I don't have Balaged Recovery in here. Maybe I should have Balaged Recovery in here, but we don't have Balaged Recovery in here. So being able to do something with our graveyard with Pelucranos is very good. Another thing we can use our graveyard with is Blood in the Snow, another reason for playing snow-covered lands. 6 mana, destroy all creatures or destroy all planeswalkers. 9 times out of 10 we're destroying all creatures. Could destroy all planeswalkers if really needed, but more often than not you're killing all the creatures. And then return a creature or a planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of snow mana spent to cast this spell. We can get back a lot of good things, including our next couple of cards here with Kogla the Titan Ape and Garruk Cursed Huntsman. If we pay 6 mana, we can get Kogla back out of the graveyard. Kogla is a 6 mana 7/6 with 3 green. That can be kind of challenging every once in a while. Enters the battlefield, fight up to 1 target creature you don't control. Whenever Kogla attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. So it does 2 things. It destroys artifacts and enchantments, and it also can take down some pretty beefy creatures. You pay a green and a colorless to return target human creature to its owner's hand, and Kogla gains indestructible to the end of turn. Then I mentioned Garruk Cursed Huntsman. It is in this pile because it's -3. It's destroy target creature, you draw a card. The 6 mana 5 loyalty planeswalker. The 0 creates 2/2 green and black wolf creature tokens. With when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. We only have the 1 Garruk, but those 2/2s are nice blockers. They're attackers. They do a lot of stuff for us. And then -6, you get an emerald with creatures you control, have +3/+3 and trample. Then we have 2 X removal spells. We have Erebos' Intervention and Primal Might. This gives a creature -X until end of turn, and you gain X life. The gaining of life can be important in those aggro matches. And you can also exile twice X target cards from graveyards. It is our graveyard hate card. Primal Might gives a creature +X/+X until the end of turn, and then it fights up to one target creature you don't control. With these two, this is sorcery speed. You have to do it on your turn. But with Beledros, you could tap your mana, untap your mana, tap your mana again, and you can get a lot of X for this. Then we have Dina, Soul Steeper. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Sacrifice another creature. Dina, Soul Steeper gets +X/+O until the end of turn, where X is a sacrificed creature's power. It's in here because it's a Strixhaven card, and I wanted to give it a shot in a deck that is not its own deck. Building around it is pretty solid, I think. Callous Blood Mage, another Strixhaven card. This usually draws us a card and loses us a life, but you can also create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token, and you can exile target player's graveyard. So another graveyard hate style card, but we're usually drawing a card and losing a life. Sedgemoor Witch is a human for Kogla. Also, whenever you pay or cast a instant or sorcery, you get Magecraft. Also copying instant or sorcery, which we don't really do. Create a 1/1 black green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. It has menace and ward. So the spell that targets this gets countered unless they pay 3 life. We have Shoot Swarm, like I mentioned before. Landfall, make a 1/1, get a bunch of 1/1s later. After you have 6 or more lands, you create a token that's a copy of Shoot Swarm. Excuse me, can get out of hand really fast. Questing Beast helps us get rid of planeswalkers. 4 mana, 4/4 vigilance, death touch, haste. Can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. Combat damage dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. When it deals combat damage to opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. So it helps us deal with planeswalkers. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, plus Shoot Swarm can be a lot of Shoot Swarms. This is a 5 mana star, where its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever and non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to other types. So this helps us get around destroy target non-land permanent, because then it turns all our creatures into lands. Elder Gargaroth, 5 mana, 6/6 vigilance, reach, trample. It's a very good value creature, which is why I have it in here. When it attacks or blocks, you either create a 3/3 beast creature token, so you can extend your board. You gain 3 life, so if you're behind, you can gain some life, and if you need cards in your hand, you can draw a card. Vivian, Monsters Advocate. Beledros does cost 7 mana, so -2ing to go search out any creature other than Beanstalk Giant in our deck is very powerful. You can play creature spells from the top of your library. I always forget that ability, no matter how many times I play this card. And then this +3s, you get a 3/3 green beast creature token, and you can put a vigilance counter, reach counter, or trample counter on it, so it protects itself. And the last card in the deck is the Great Henge. It is probably one of the best green cards, draw advantages in the format. It does cost 9 mana, but it costs X less to cast for X is the greatest power among creatures you control, so you can get it down to fairly inexpensive. It taps at 2 green mana. You gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. 6 swamps. You got Castle Garenbrig, Snow-Covered Forest, the Pathway, New Snarl, the Snow Dual Land, Command Tower, Fabled Passage, Field of Ruin. I'm liking this card more and more and more. It fixes us, also destroys lands that we don't want to have to play against. And Shimmerdrift Vale is the snow land that you can choose if it's in this case a forest or a swamp. All right, that is Beledros Witherbloom. This is Witherbloom Ramp. Thanks for watching the deck tech. We're gonna get into some games, and I hope you enjoy. All right, let's do a couple of games. All right, let's see what we can do against Mono White. I get to go first. We got a ramp spell. This is kind of awkward. Let's see if we draw another land. Yeah, we're gonna play it. I'm gonna play tapped, but it's the way it is. This might be good to snipe something small. It's a little disappointing that it is a sorcery and not an instant. We get to snipe that. Now the question is, do we ramp and give them a turn, or do we? I think we need to kill this. I'm gonna do this. Let's do this, and let's mill 3 cards and see if we can hit a land. Land, please. It's not a land. There's a land. Yeah, a couple of good cards hit the bin, but This land is important because it makes our Fabled Passage come into play untapped. Then playing that and then into a 2/1. We did draw another land, so we can destroy this. And then play the Gilded Goose. If they play this without playing a creature, we're gonna Questing Beast. Are they just gonna, yeah, I thought they just run it out. Questing Beast is gonna be good here. Gonna do 4 to them and 4 to this. I would like to do this. To the face. And they're done. All right. Hopefully we can get into Beledros in the next game. Let's do this. All right, Toast. We get to go first. A hand. I mean, we can give it a try. Let's do this. Lead command tower. This can kill a little mana dork if they play something. Poison might be good later. All right, let's get a ramp spell. Put it there. Cultivate. All right, so they're gonna have this on curve. Now we Questing Beast. Get in some beats. Next turn we get to binding this, seeing as they play it. They play a creature, we got Cup. Yeah, it makes sense for them to jam that. We get to jam this. Which blows up that. And now we're in dangerous territory because there are lots of things you can do at 6 mana that are very powerful. Gaining 3 life is a good thing too. What do you got for 4? Nothing. All right, let's go grab our Woodland Chasm. Going on. Come on. Come on. Play this. Got something at instant speed. What you got? Brazy Bee. Sure. All right, let's jam Gurk. Of course. Of course. Right, let's make this, that doesn't really matter at this point. We'll make it a green. We'll get our commander out, and I guess we could have played Questing Beast. What are you gonna give us? What are you gonna get? Okay. Alchemist. Before you attack, I'm gonna do this. Do you have another counter spell? Otherwise I just hurt myself big time. Yeah, that's good. I do not want either of those. If you minus questing beast gets you, sure. All right, goodbye. Base. And then we're gonna do this. Instant regret. This is why these 5-color decks just are not fun. It's a 5-color deck that has Massacre Worm in it. Like, come on. Double red, double blue, triple black. Give me a break. Guess we'll do this and lose the game. Pay 10 life and go out on my own terms. That should go face. That makes no sense. I wonder, shall we experiment? For the experimenting! I want to pay. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I can kill myself here. All right. Good game. Sure. All right. Let's get into another one. We got time. All right, we have 2 lands. This could fluke us into a land. I think we mulligan. Yeah, this is better. We can keep this one. We are up against Rowan and Will. I think this is a land at this point. Could very well have been a spell. Another tap land. Can be hard to.
Don't worry, this won't take long.
That's a good.
I'll make quick work of it.
Let's just do this. You can't counter it. It's gonna make it more expensive. Sure, that hurt a little bit, but that is what it is. Oh, did they miss a land drop? That's unfortunate. I think I just binding that. Find ourselves another swamp. Or do I not binding that? I think we Nylea. Yeah, we're gonna Nylea. I'm not too worried about this at this point. This helps us get closer to things. We can double spell next turn. This is red. If this had some kind of blue in it, this would not have been tapped. There. We do this. I think we just Elder Gargaroth here. The big duder. Could be many different things. If they attack into this is probably the deal for. This is one. All right, now do bindings that and play the Murderous Rider. Two 1/1s? Deal 4 damage? What is it? Aaron's Epiphany? They are not gonna like my questing beast. Yeah, forced. I'm sorry. Face. I don't want to overextend. Let's just do this. I play this and they play a 4-mana board wipe. Shock plus. Okay. Wee, my murderous rider has death touch. Alright, well, Witherbloom. They have a mitt. Yo, what is this? Raven form. Sure, I get a 1/1. Now I guess I'm gonna play this one. Hold on. Let's just get at it. I could regret this. Nope. All right. I think we got one more. We got one more in us. Let's do this. Witherbloom versus Witherbloom. I think this is a keep. Dina versus Beledros. Ramp spell, destroy something, plus ramp spell. Drawing us a card, dealing with something. Hey, look at that. It doesn't even come into play tapped now. Comes Dina. I think it's kind of interesting that the game, or they went with kind of a life gain thing for the Witherbloom college. Not really a Golgari thing from the past. I guess they're kind of trying to change it. All right, we can go banner into Tangled Florahedron. Banner's probably gonna be green. Makes our Tangled Florahedron a little better. Sure. A card, discard a card? Or is it literally going to be a 2-mana 2/1 that gains you a life when it dies? Okay. Alright, let's do this into this. Into, I think it has to be green. I kind of wanted to be black just in case they blow up this and we have some double black cards. The green makes all of our stuff. Maybe I could have held on to this as a land and played this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. One more land, and we can play Beledros on turn 4. For it to probably be instantly removed. Sure. Some of these cards don't make much sense to me. Maybe they don't quite understand what. That's not a land. I wanted to go here. And then I think I want to do this to draw us a card. Could have exiled their graveyard. Maybe they had some shenanigans going there. We do that. We did have this with Galsa Garenbreak. Oops. Oh wells. This being on green makes this a flyer that attacks. Sure. We are all in on the Strixhaven. You know, if I lose a life no matter what, but then that stops us from losing life more. On this one, I'm gonna put on black. Get in there. I don't want to hold this. Don't think I'm paying 10 life to. I think that's a little bit much. I haven't seen a lot of removal out of them yet. Oh. That's a clock. We'll just blow it up with the binding. Trade the pest with your thing. You could sacrifice it to get 2 damage in. Like I don't quite get that attack. Right. Green. Want to do this on this. Make sure you put these things on basic lands so that they can't get blown up by things that destroy non-basic lands. Then we binding this. This is just a slow burn. Can play this with those. I just don't want to. They're not playing. They're playing this snowland. This. I think I will play Pelucano. Why not? Make them deal with another thing. Worst comes to worst, I can put us to 4 and we can eat something with Pelucranos. Them not playing Snowlands means it's very unlikely that they're playing Blood in the Snow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We come very close to dying if they have Massacre Worm. Right? Right, so we look at the top 5 cards. They reveal land and an instant or sorcery spell. Gaining 3 life. Let's take this and this. Don't need the ramp. Ooh. I'm only getting one thing from that kind of hurts. He thinks they're in troubles. He thinks we won this game. Huh. Find this. And we'll play this. Let's go find ourselves probably another one of these. This here. And eat it with Dina. What do you have? What does this do? That resolves. That resolves too. No. Sorry. I'm gonna eat it again. That's gonna eat this. That will resolve. We will battle. And we will win. All right. Witherbloom ramp does some good stuff. It's a fun deck. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, notify. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Wherever you are in the world, from Mr. Pisto, see you. Bye for now.